At a small riverside town in Oregon, where cobblestone streets glow under red maples each fall, Lily Harper's story begins, a gripping tale of resilience and the search for true love. In the cozy wooden Harper home, soft golden lamplight spills over family photos on the walls. But one figure always claims the center. Emma, Lily's twin sister, born 5 minutes earlier. Emma is the shining star, while Lily, despite being moments apart, grows up in her sister's faint shadow. Lily, 16, with deep brown eyes and curly chestnut hair, carries an unspoken sadness. Her parents, Margaret and Thomas Harper, are ordinary yet ambitious. Margaret, a bank clerk with sharp fashion sense, always looks ready for a TV interview. Thomas, a construction engineer, spends days buried in blueprints and models. From the outside, the Harpers seem like the perfect middle-class American family. But behind closed doors, Lily learns early that her parents' love is reserved for Emma, the daughter they see as a rare gem. The favoritism starts small but cuts deeply into Lily's soul. At 6, Margaret takes the twins to a toy store for Christmas gifts. Emma picks a dazzling Lego architecture set, while Lily gets a dusty 50% off puzzle box. "This'll do for you," Margaret says coldly, her eyes fixed on Emma's beaming face. Emma's gifts are always new. Expensive, leather jackets, wireless earbuds. Lily? She gets clearance rack leftovers. Or sometimes, nothing at all. Their 8th birthday is a memory etched forever in Lily's heart. At the backyard party, Emma unwraps a sleek electric bike, while Lily gets a tattered second-hand book. As Emma rides around to cheers and applause, Lily sits quietly in a corner, clutching her book, swallowing her hurt. Every holiday repeats the pattern. Under the twinkling Christmas tree, Emma's gifts pile high, while Lily's are a few small packages in crumpled newspaper. Once, Lily dares to ask, "Mom, can I pick the birthday cake flavor this year? I like strawberry." Margaret frowns. Emma wants chocolate, so we're getting chocolate. It's not just gifts. When Emma talks about her piano lessons or a painting, Margaret and Thomas lean in, eyes glowing with pride. But when Lily tries to share a poem her teacher praised, their gazes slide past her, landing back on Emma. Family photos lining the hallway mirror this imbalance. Emma's always center stage, radiant, while Lily's pushed to the edge, sometimes half hidden. The real pain hits on a freezing winter night when Lily, now 12, overhears her parents in the living room, tiptoeing downstairs for water. She freezes at Margaret's heavy voice. "Maybe we should have just had one kid." Emma's everything we need, smart, charming, full of potential. Lily's, just a burden. Thomas sighs, agreeing. Yeah, life would have been easier with only Emma. The words stab like icy blades, shattering Lily's fragile hopes. She races back to her room, buries herself under blankets, and bites her lip to silence her sobs. But that pain, instead of breaking her, sparks a quiet resolve. Lily pours herself into school, not to win her parents' love, but to prove she's worth something. While Emma's busy with extracurriculars, violin, modern dance, art, Lily studies alone at home, tackling math problems, devouring literature, and scribbling stories in an old notebook. She spends hours in the school library, where the rustle of pages and smell of old books become her sanctuary. Her grades soar. She aces exams, joins the debate team, and wins first place in a district-wide short story contest. But when she brings home a certificate, Margaret glances at it and sets it aside, while Thomas rushes to snap photos of Emma's latest painting. Her English teacher, Clara Evans, is the first to see Lily's light. After a test, she says, "Lily, you have a rare gift for writing. You should enter the state teen novel contest." The praise feels like warm sunlight on Lily's frozen heart. She brings the contest flyer home, hopeful, but Margaret snaps. Emma's schedule is packed with violin and dance. "You think we have time for this?" The flyer's crumpled, tossed in the trash, but instead of crumbling, Lily secretly signs up for the contest. Then, a chance discovery changes everything. While cleaning the garage one afternoon, Lily finds a dusty wooden box containing a faded photo album. One picture stops her cold, her mother. "Margaret, young and smiling, standing between an elderly couple. Below, in shaky handwriting, Margaret with parents. 1989. Lily's heart races. She's never heard Margaret mention her grandparents. Only that they're not in our lives. Curiosity burning, Lily sneaks into her mother's study and digs through an old address book. There, circled in red ink, is an entry: Harold and Evelyn Brooks, do not contact. The address is in a small town a few hours away. One afternoon, Lily lies about going to the library and boards an intercity bus. Her heart pounding with fear and excitement. The bus drops her in an old neighborhood, where small wooden houses nestle under oak trees. She finds number 17, a white house with a weathered tile roof and a front yard bursting with wildflowers. Taking a deep breath, Lily knocks. The door swings open, revealing Evelyn, a silver-haired woman with a kind smile, and Harold, a tall, thin man with twinkling eyes. Who are you? Evelyn asks, voice trembling. Lily swallows hard. I'm Lily Harper, Margaret's daughter. Time seems to stop. Evelyn covers her mouth, tears glistening. Harold steps forward, taking Lily's hand, his voice breaking. My God. Evelyn, look. She's the spitting image of Margaret at her age. They invite her inside a humble, warm home filled with the scent of fresh cookies and family photos on every wall. For 3 hours, they share stories of Margaret's childhood, of tough but love-filled days. And how she cut them off. Ashamed of their poverty, but we never stopped loving her. Harold says, eyes red. You, Lily, you're our family. For the first time, Lily feels unconditional love, something her parents never gave. Evelyn packs her a tin of cookies, whispering, whenever you need a home, come here. Stepping out into the glowing sunset, Lily clutches the tin, feeling like she's found a missing piece of her heart. She knows her journey's just beginning. But for the first time, she's not afraid. A new world, where she's no longer anyone's shadow, awaits her. In the golden haze of a June morning in Oregon, Lily Harper stood before her bedroom mirror, adjusting the navy blue graduation gown that hugged her shoulders. At 18, she was no longer the quiet girl who hid her tears behind a forced smile. Today, she was valedictorian of her high school, a title earned through sleepless nights, relentless determination, and a heart that refused to break. But as she smoothed the fabric of her gown, a bittersweet ache settled in her chest. Her parents, Margaret and Thomas Harper, hadn't asked about her speech or her honors. To them, this day was just another stage for Emma, her twin sister, to shine. The auditorium buzzed with anticipation as families filled the seats, cameras flashing, and proud whispers echoing. When the principal called Lily's name as valedictorian, the room erupted in applause. She stepped onto the stage, clutching her diploma, the spotlight blinding her tear-filled eyes. Her speech, a heartfelt reflection on resilience and self-worth, moved the crowd to a standing ovation. Yet, as she scanned the front row, her heart sank. Margaret was whispering to Emma, both giggling as if Lily's moment was a mere interruption. Thomas, engrossed in his phone, didn't even look up. The applause faded, and Lily stepped down, gripping her diploma like a lifeline, swallowing the familiar sting of being unseen. Outside, on the school lawn, families snapped photos, laughter ringing out. Lily stood stiffly at the edge of her family's group, her valedictorian medal tucked under her arm. Unnoticed, Margaret focused her camera on Emma, who posed with her standard diploma, beaming as if she'd won an Oscar. Emma, you're a star, Margaret cooed, snapping shot after shot. Lily's smile tightened, her fingers digging into her purse. The weight of years, of being sidelined, ignored, and dismissed, pressed harder than ever. That evening, at a half-hearted family dinner, Margaret dropped a bombshell. Guess what? She announced, her voice dripping with excitement as she clinked her wine glass. We're celebrating Emma's graduation with a trip to Hawaii. Lily's heart leapt for a fleeting second, a naive hope flickering. Just the three of us. Margaret continued, her smile sugary. Thomas, Emma, and me. The room fell silent. Lily's fork froze mid-air. And you, Lily, Margaret added, her tone hollow. You'll stay to watch the house. You've got your barista job. right? Emma burst into laughter, slamming her glass down. Don't worry, Lily. I'll send you pics, blue waves, luau's, the works. You'll feel like you're there. Lily's chest tightened, her chopsticks slipping onto her plate. You understand, right? Margaret pressed, as if Lily's agreement would absolve her guilt. Lily forced a nod, her voice barely a whisper. Yeah, I understand. But inside, something snapped. That night, as her family packed their sleek new suitcases, Lily sat by her window, staring at the summer stars. She realized she'd been chasing a mirage, a hug. We're proud of you. A place in their world. Those things were never hers. And they never would be. The next morning, Lily leaned against the front door as a taxi pulled up. Emma, in a designer sundress and oversized sunglasses, waved mockingly. Have fun at your little coffee shop, Lily, she sang. The car sped off, carrying their laughter and indifference away. Lily closed the door, slid down the wall, and let herself cry, not just for being left behind, but for every hope she'd clung to in this house. When the tears dried, she stood, wiped her face, and grabbed her phone. With a trembling but resolute voice, she dialed her grandparents, Harold and Evelyn Brooks. Grandma, she said, can I come stay with you? Evelyn's warm voice answered instantly. Oh, sweetheart, we've been waiting for you. Lily packed a single bag, locked the house, and stepped into the world, leaving behind a hollow shell of a home. When she arrived at her grandparents' small white house, with its wildflower garden and creaky porch, Harold and Evelyn stood waiting, their faces glowing like they were greeting a long-lost treasure. Evelyn pulled her into a hug, and Harold patted her back, his rough hands steady and kind. Inside, the scent of fresh bread and cinnamon wrapped around her. A handmade banner hung on the wall. Congratulations, our Lily. The simple words cracked open her heart, filling it with a warmth she'd never known. Over a lunch of roasted chicken, creamy mashed potatoes, and Evelyn's famous peach cobbler, Harold handed Lily a small box wrapped in silver paper. This is for you, he said, his eyes twinkling. Inside was a gleaming car key. Lily gasped, her hands trembling. Outside, a silver Toyota Corolla sparkled in the driveway. You've earned this, Evelyn said softly. You've worked so hard. Lily ran out, covering her mouth as tears spilled. In her entire life, she'd never imagined a gift just for her, let alone a car. How? She stammered. Harold chuckled. When your mom cut us off, we invested our savings in some tech stocks. They did better than we ever dreamed. But we live simply, so we saved it for what matters, you. Back inside, Evelyn slid a pale blue envelope across the table. Open it, she urged. With shaking hands, Lily pulled out an acceptance letter from Stanford University, complete with a full-ride scholarship. Her breath caught. Every late-night study session, every tear-soaked page, every quiet victory had led to this. We believe in you, Evelyn said, squeezing her hand. You don't need anyone's approval to shine. That night, Lily sat on the porch, the car key warm in her palm, watching the sunset paint the sky crimson. For the first time, she felt free, not just from her family's neglect, but from the need to prove herself to them. When her family returned from Hawaii, tanned and smug, Lily was ready. She sat on the front porch, sipping lemonade, the Corolla gleaming in the driveway. Margaret stepped out of the taxi first, her eyes locking onto the car. She froze, her designer purse slipping slightly. Emma stumbled out next, her jaw dropping. What the hell is that? She snapped. Thomas, peeling off his sunglasses, gaped. Lily stood, twirling the key casually. Welcome back, she said coolly. Oh, this? My graduation gift from my grandparents. The air crackled with tension. Margaret's voice was shrill. Your grandparents? They're still alive? Lily smiled, razor sharp. Not just alive, thriving. Better than you ever imagined. Emma's face twisted, her eyes darting to the car like it was already hers. Margaret recovered, her tone syrupy. Lily, Emma's starting college soon. She needs a reliable car. This one's perfect for her. Thomas jumped in, his voice hard. You're just a barista. You don't need a car like that. Emma's got internships, A future to build. Lily laughed, a clear, defiant sound that echoed through the humid air. Funny how you ignored me for years. Left me to fend for myself. And now you want what's mine. Thomas's face reddened. If you won't share, don't expect to stay in this house. Lily's smile didn't waver. Oh, I'm not staying. She popped the car's trunk, revealing packed suitcases. Margaret gasped. Emma sputtered. I've been done with this place for a long time. Lily said, her voice steady. This house never felt like home. She slid into the driver's seat, lowered the window, and added, by the way, I got into Stanford. Full scholarship. Enjoy your summer. The Corolla purred to life. And Lily drove off, leaving their stunned faces in the dust. At Stanford, Lily's world bloomed. The campus, with its sunlit courtyards and buzzing lecture halls, felt like a new universe. Her full scholarship covered everything, freeing her to dive into her studies, literature, social justice, creative writing. She got a part-time job at a cozy campus cafe, where the hum of conversation and the scent of espresso became her daily rhythm. She made friends who saw her for who she was. Ava, a fiery political science major with a contagious laugh. And Noah, a quiet computer science student who stayed late to debate philosophy over coffee. They didn't pry into her past. And for that, Lily was grateful. Her bond with Noah grew quietly. Unlike the transactional relationships she'd known, Noah listened, really listened, without judgment. One evening, as they sat on the steps of the library, the stars glittering above, Noah said, Lily, you're one of the strongest people I've ever met. She looked at him, the city lights reflecting in his eyes, and smiled. I used to think I needed their approval to matter. She said softly, now I know I just need to be me. Noah took her hand, his warmth anchoring her in a moment of pure, unguarded connection. Lily spent holidays with Harold and Evelyn, decorating their Christmas tree with mismatched ornaments and baking gingerbread until the house smelled like winter. One afternoon, sorting through old photos, Lily found one of her family, her in the shadows. As always, she smiled, tucked it away, and said, I don't need them anymore. Evelyn hugged her, whispering, you've got us. That's real family. When Margaret called months later, her voice dripping with false warmth, Lily, we miss you. Family's family, right? Lily let it go to voicemail. Texts followed, hinting at her car, her scholarship, her new life. She blocked them all. One day, while working at the cafe, she saw her family outside the window, Margaret, Thomas, and Emma, hesitating. Lily turned away, serving a customer with a smile, as if they were strangers. That night, on her dorm's balcony, she hugged her knees, the city lights stretching endlessly before her. She was free. Lily's days at Stanford flew by, filled with passionate debates, late-night study sessions, and shifts at the cafe. She started a campus program to mentor low-income students, pouring her heart into a dream born from her own struggles. Her life was hers, built on her terms, defined by her strength, and anchored by the love of her grandparents and friends. From a girl once invisible in her own home, Lily had become a woman who wrote her own destiny, proving that family isn't where you're born, it's where you're truly seen.